Hello. Welcome once again to the Reese Paulcast. Baby. It's me here recording the intro to this one. It's a good app. I'm pretty sure I just drank some expired plant protein powder, so that's gonna be fun in a little bit. But boy, I hope I don't have to use the bathroom before I do the outro. You know, like 45 minutes from now, like an hour from now, because I live in the same time you do. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, whatever day it is for you. I'm having a good one. Just ordered some Reeboks, the new DMX 2000s, I think. I don't know. I've been getting into shoes a little bit. It's pretty weird. It's like investing in Bitcoin like a year from now. Like, not even how it's already passed now. It's like, now you're going to decide to be a sneaker guy? Now? I don't know, but just the cheap ones. The cheap, clunky dad shoes. Those are fun. Oh, boy. Plant protein. Jesus Christ. Whew. I think I'm going to start becoming delusional by the end of this intro. Billy Sherman. I remember I met Billy in 2010. I did open mics for like a really briefly. And I saw him and I met him and it was just like, cool. There's another like person around my age into comedy, you know? And sure, his dad forced him to do it in some sort of unhealthy need, but I understand that completely. My son's 4. He was on stage a month ago with me, okay? I completely understand ruining your child's life for a dumb dream. Okay? Everyone should do it. Okay? If you're out there and you have a son or a daughter, you know what you have to do. Like, just lay out a bowl of kibbles and bits, lay out a bowl of water, put down a piss pad, and go paint landscapes, okay? I know that's what you want to do. I see you. I see you out there. All I want to do is paint landscapes that include lighthouses. Live your dream, man. Just because you busted in someone doesn't mean your dream has to die. Okay? It's 2019. We're crafting our own realities now. Okay? A kid is just an extension cord to heaven. When you die, you live through them. Give them a complex about stuff. My son wants to be a comedian and a mailman and a dad. That's what he wants to be when he grows up. You know what I wanted to be when I grew up? When I was a kid? I wonder if I have my diploma from preschool still. They're like, draw what you want to be when you grow up. I wanted to be an alligator who played football. I didn't understand that the mascots didn't play. But, okay, this isn't an admission of a furry fetish, okay? Also, does it count as a furry fetish if it's leather? Okay? Okay? I just wanted, like, I don't know, my dad to be proud of me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did I just say that out loud? Speaking of trying to make your dad proud. Again, Billy Sherman. Billy. So yeah, I met him. he watched me bomb for a bit. And then like years later, like I think like 2016, I came out to a single open mic at Hawaiian Brian's. This is like right after Amy Schumer came through. I remember because Audrey was complaining about how everyone used those little notebooks ever since she used a little notebook. Man, when she points out how pathetic we are sometimes, I mean, if she's able to observe something, she'll be on the podcast eventually. That's a running bit, I think, that she'll be on to defend herself. But, dude, she's just like looking at it now through the context, it's like, oh, suddenly everyone's got little notebooks, huh? Now that Amy had a little notebook, huh? Like, damn. And then, oh my gosh, yeah. So Billy was going to be the featured comedian after the open mic. I did the open mic. I brought out my wife, terrible idea. My mother-in-law, incredibly terrible idea. And we sat in the front row, and then Co Snyder hosted. Shout out to a big head. Co Snyder hosted, and he was like, Reese Paul. And I was building myself up to doing comedy for like a month at that point. And so I go up on stage, and this is what I had written. I was like focusing on this. I was like, okay, horses are weird, right? That we still have horses. It's going to be like cars are going to be like that. And also my coworker works all week so that she can hang out with her horses on the weekends. That's it. That's all I had written. And after that, you know what the plan was? Riff right from stage. This is your first time doing it, Reese. You're going to be Bill Burr, baby. Bill Burr. Am I like Bill Burr now, Ma? Yelling away from the microphone. Big old Reese soy tits. But yeah, I bombed so bad. I got a single sentence out. I got off stage. The adrenaline rush was incredible. And then I go to the back of the room, and Billy's like chilling there with a notebook, and he's like laid back. He's like, "You gonna stay for the rest of the show?" I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna go try not to cry with two other people in the car as I drive right now, please. Thank you very much. And he's like, man, just keep at it, man. Just keep right. And I was like, damn, Billy got his shit together. And about a year later, I like came back out and started doing it again. And I don't know, Billy, he got his shit together after that. When I saw him again, it was just like, oh, he's cool, but there were other people doing it pretty well at the same time, you know? Fuck. This is the worst intro to ever give Billy. That's okay. Billy's used to me giving him shitty intros at shows and stuff. But yeah, he's trying to move away. He's trying to figure himself out. He's trying to decide whether he takes the red pill or the black pill or the blue pill or the... I mean, he should just take a Viagra and cut a hole in the earth. But, yeah. I was laughing about this with Ina, my wife, recently. Totine X pizza rolls. Like a gender neutral. Just like do that with other stuff. Like Latinx, you know? Like Filipinx. Just like a burritex. Burritos are fluid gendered. Okay? You will respect them as such. Okay? With or without beans. Oh, man. I should make a different post about this, but I found this conspiracy theory that the mountains were giants before, and like every time you see a face in like a rock formation, they're just like, checkmate, atheists. I told you Nephilim were real. Just like, yeah, but how would the Earth sustain something that big? Like, the physics of motion and gravity don't work like that. Oh, you just don't see what I see? Because I'm more open-minded than you. Giants. Gabe comes in halfway through the episode. Gabe's cool. Gabe's fun. He's a fun writer, and I mean, he's just doing it, grinded it out. I say his name wrong every single time I introduce him. Because I can never tell whether it's going to be Gabe Aguilar or Gabe Aguilar. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would the L's do that Y thing? God, I'm an idiot. But every time I trip over it. So, Gabe, I guess you can count this as just another shitty intro for you from me. Whoopsies. But yeah, this is where a sponsor would go. A sponsor. Jesus Christ. Could you imagine? What even would... Okay, wait. I'm going to get some t-shirt ideas out soon. That's going to be fun. But yeah, I got to go... You know what? It's kind of feeling like I will use the bathroom between now and the outro. Yeah. I gotta take a fucking dump. So I'm gonna go drop this shit while this shit drops. Bah, bah, bah. And I made new music this time, Trey. That's right, bitch. That's right. It's kind of looming. It's kind of intimidating music. Should really figure this out. What's the tone I'm going for? I don't know. I don't even know my own voice comedically. Give it up for Billy Sherman, Gabe Aguilar, and I believe there's a brief interruption from both Mike Rayo, friend of the show, and Jose Dynamite, friend of the show. Oh, wait, one more last thing. Billy leaves halfway through to do a set. And this is what I always wanted this to be. Like people talking and, I got to go up and do a set, and then people rotate in and out. It's just so much fun. But it's difficult because the hang is so much, and I'm going to do a hang with only 3. It's so weird to isolate yourself and compartmentalize yourself. But anyways, love you folks. Peace. Billy Sherman, the man, myth, legend, fucking yeah. That's not supposed to be plugged in.
It's not
Only
plugged
you
in.
and Rayo noticed. Yeah, that part's not supposed to be plugged in.
It's not. So this is fake.
Yeah, I mean it's just a splitter.
Okay.
So we could potentially have more people on, but like the Eddie episode. But yeah, welcome back. That's the wrong tune, but whatever. Welcome back, Billy, for a minute.
Yeah.
What's your plans down here?
I didn't actually plan. I didn't get a return flight. But
That's cool.
I should have.
Cool. So, it's the reverse of crashing on couches on the mainland?
Yeah, pretty much. It goes from, I'm going to crash on couches for 2 weeks in L.A., and then I have potential to buy a house, and then I'm like, too much adult commitment, now I'm going to come back home.
Yeah.
And ruin everybody's life in the Hawaii comedy scene.
Everyone who believed.
Yeah, everyone
who believed you could leave.
Yeah. They're like, go and be famous for us, and then we'll couch surf on your couch. No, I'll just come back and do it on yours.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. I was crashing on your couch when
you were about to leave.
Yeah, when my life was falling apart.
Now you're crashing back all the way back.
On more couches.
Now you're just literally crashing.
Yeah, I had so much potential, and now I'm just
crashing with a Trey, friend of the show.
Yeah, my son.
Friend of the show, Trey.
Episode 2.2. That's the next one he's gonna be on. Yeah.
How was it up there?
Yeah, so Wisconsin, a lot of people would give me a lot of shit for Wisconsin, but there's mics there. There's a good amount of mics.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about the same idea here is try to self-drive and become your own if you saw yourself at an open mic, I just fucking bombed at this mic.
No.
Hated that so much. But
I think it's the main thing is just saying fuck it.
Yeah, just being able to know that you liked what you did.
You just got to grind it out. Like when I went to L.A., I was with Callahan Welsh,
Yeah.
and he's the Maui comic, right?
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot of things that I didn't even really observe. And, you know, he's been doing comedy for about 5 years.
Dude, Callahan Welsh is so fucking funny.
He is.
He's tearing apart the structure of it so well. Just like everyone's at it, like there's a difference between, because when I see his sets at like Fourth Wall or whatever, like he posts clips of himself.
Right.
And like, you know, everyone's pouring their everything into it. And just to watch someone like almost purposefully waste their time, but like so gracefully as he does it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's almost like, and he always has something new to say. Like,
Yeah.
it's never the same thing.
Yeah.
And so he taught me a lot about, like, you know, dude, I'm just going to do my bit. I'm going to get it recorded.
Yeah.
And I'm going to upload it every time. Like, he has such, because he's a Marine, right? So
Yeah,
he has
structure.
this military discipline about, I'm
He's
going
almost
to
like-
upload it
Yeah.
on YouTube. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
for years I didn't do that with my
Yeah,
sets.
yeah.
For years I didn't do that.
He's almost like Robert William Apperfire, where you can just trigger a certain bit out of him.
Yeah.
Like taking out a camera will like make him do that flex thing. Or like,
Yeah.
And his sides, dude, this side is so fun. Time out. Was that premise good?
Right. Time
Have you heard
in.
this premise
Right.
before? All right, time in.
Trademark.
Trademark.
And he does trademark. This whole thing.
So fucking hilarious.
But that's see, I remember when I was like maybe my 3rd year taking comedy seriously. I remember I was doing bits that would trigger something mentally in my head, where it was like,
It's
oh,
like you're learning patterns and muscle memory.
Yeah.
And you got to undo the bad ones and keep the good ones.
right, like, oh, this is the Hawaiian Jewish joke, and then this is the thing I say if somebody heckles me.
Yeah.
Or this is the thing I say if nobody answers the question that I just asked.
Yeah.
Like that was something that I used to do a lot.
Yeah.
Chicago's
Having
pretty.
a set.
Chicago's pretty busy. Like that's a busy town. There's a lot of comedy there.
Yeah.
The whole like crime there was like really scary and daunting. Like the night I showed up in Chicago, like 2 fire trucks were going in the same direction and they ended up crashing into each other.
What? What?
Yeah.
Is that a fucking second city sketch?
Yeah, it was like
Jesus
second
Christ.
fire truck. just 2 at the same time.
Stacking dolls. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I was like, it's almost like if you just had like a kid who was playing with Matchbox cars.
Just slamming them into each other.
Slams them. Like if your son just said, Daddy, I'm just going to destroy Chicago.
Yeah.
More than it already is.
Wow, this is a pretty good build-up of the Chicago skyline.
Yeah, right.
You just all with Lincoln Logs? Damn.
Chicago is like a poor man's New York City. Like it's just so weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird New York City, man. We're getting taunted by the other people.
Yeah, I mean,
across-
it's the second city, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice though. I liked LA. I feel like if there was a scene that I belonged in though, it'd have to be New York. You know, that one
Yeah,
week.
you liked it?
I liked New York. I feel like my soul belongs in New York. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the place I'm supposed to be. But I feel like LA had more variety in mics to do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ray was trying to get in on this
Mike
mic.
Rayo's trying to get on
Just-
this mic.
All right, we'll just point both mics at him and see what he yells.
Yeah, we'll just he's
Okay. No,
that's
thank
some
you. That's
that's
not
some
what
drugs.
you yell.
Okay.
How did you? No, thank you.
No, this is a sober mic.
No, I won't.
The Reese Paulcast has always been a sober microphone. There's no drugs used on the Reese Paulcast.
No. Sometimes other characters, other people, other comedians are paid to play a character of someone who's like high or drunk,
Right. Or
committing
depressed.
illicit activities, or admitting to thoughts of suicide. I don't know, just characters.
Right.
Don't take anything for true.
All right, yeah.
Don't
no.
take anything truthfully.
I like doing
Anyway.
this. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
It's like
This is what you could have had if you stayed. I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
I know. This is I should have
I
never
think
left.
well, you leaving and then the Hawaii Comedy Podcast, which I got to be on. That was the 2 cruxes. Cause yeah, never mind. But yeah,
How many people have you interviewed at this point?
10, 12 maybe.
All right. So
About
like
the can.
90% of the comedy.
Well,
scene.
some I have in the can, some I have next to a motorcycle gang, and I just thought I could talk over it, and it didn't end up working.
Nice. We're gonna get some live music here.
Gabe Aguilar, comic in the scene. This is nice. Imagine yourself. I don't know.
I don't know.
How was the New York trip?
He's doing
When
a
you went.
Slayer riff right now. The New York trip, I mean, honestly, I had this drive inside of me that I didn't think I would have had for comedy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna.
You got to see the peak of it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna eat one meal a day, and then I'm just gonna run through every single mic that it starts from 2:00 and it ends at 11. Like that was me just firing on all cylinders, and I just went to every single mic. I went to reoccurring mics. I went to mics that it took me a while to get to. I went out of the city. I was with Kenny Kusaka at some time, and we went to Queens and did a mic. And then compare that to freaking LA. I was with Callahan Welsh, and we're just grinding, man, writing out new bits, and just it was all really helpful. I think if you have a lot of time and money on your hands, you could probably become famous. But
yeah, that's what I think I just heard a story about Michelle Wolf was that she didn't have to do jack shit at her job for the last year she was working. And then not discounting her actual work ethic, but that like certain like higher class people, it's because I mean this thing is just about keep doing it until you gather people, and you like Whitney told me a Joe Rogan quote today, or Whit, and she was like, you can only get better.
True.
I think really get better.
I think the real thing is the consistency of just being like, you know what, I'm gonna come out just like how we do it at Anna O'Brien's. If you come out every week for the open mic,
don't burn bridges.
Don't burn bridges. Don't be an asshole to anybody.
Funny.
Don't be a dick. Don't fuck anybody.
You'll figure it out.
You know, don't try to fuck anybody. Don't even think about fucking anybody, especially a female comic. Like, don't have sex with female comics, because that will ruin your life. Don't get into a relationship with the female comic,
yelling at himself,
and then spend $400. Like, don't spend $400 to come back to Hawaii because a female comic that you dated is not fucking spending $200 on taxidermy. You know, like, fucking get your shit together and, you know, kill the Jews. That's my message to society. I just
all right, is that a suicidal thought? Mr. Jew Man? Hebrew,
Jew. Yeah, just fuck the male comics. That's what I think. That's
yeah. Very progressive take. So you learned from this?
I got into a fight with Paco today, Mr. Paco Loco.
Oh, you guys got into like a fun fight.
Yeah, we were boxing.
Yeah, you guys were boxing.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah.
It was the Puerto Rican Jew versus the Jew.
The Concords over here. Kerfuffle. Yeah.
See, I'm not the only comic that's from Hawaii that went to the mainland. Gabe also went to Maryland. And how was that experience?
Oh, he's originally from Texas.
A lot of people telling me that I was pretty good, but not good enough.
They literally said that, or they just said that you're like, that was good, man?
Yeah, they were like, that's good, and then I'd be like, can I headline a show maybe? And they'd be like,
That's basically like how my parents talk to me. Like, that's good, but that's not good enough. Or like any woman I've had sex with.
Well, just negating the higher positive. Just a miniature positive.
Yeah, I think for a moment I was like kind of feeding off the energy. Like, you saw me when I first came to the island. And I loved it. I mean, like, I remember my first few sets, like, I did pretty well, but like that was mainly like repressed jokes,
right?
Like of like maybe like 3 years.
This is the we're gonna do the double fisting of the mics.
Oh, we got tree glurks.
A trigler.
Tree glurks.
Tree glurks.
Tree glurks.
Triggers.
Okay.
Call back to Shannon Canton's.
Well, you've successfully invaded the show.
You have.
Where are you from again,
man? To be just the Billy Sherman.
I'm from Texas originally.
Texas.
Yeah.
What part?
San Antonio.
Cool. So that's like southernmost, right?
It's like
that's the Alamo.
You couldn't be more middle of Texas.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess fuck me then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. For being wrong.
Just like try anywhere in Texas, you're gonna either hit a major city or a deserted city that like nobody's ever heard of.
Oh, that's crazy.
Texas is a huge fucking state.
Yeah.
I was lucky to like actually grow up in a city with like, you know, like lights and schools and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your father just saying like, this is our farm and like
like you either live there and die or you become something if you grow up in a really small town, right?
Yeah. I grew up in like it wasn't San Antonio. San Antonio is like a big city. I grew up in a small town outside of that.
I feel like if you lived in Texas, you would just instantly be like, I have to go someplace.
Yeah,
anywhere
that was
than
my
here.
immediately thought. Like
north or east or west, I have to
Gotta
go
go somewhere.
somewhere.
I turned 18 and I was just like, all right, what's this like anywhere
See ya.
else sounds good.
Yeah.
That's why I moved to Maryland. I wasn't growing up as a kid being like, oh, I'm gonna grow up and hit the big city.
I'll show you.
Wheaton, Maryland.
See, I had a weird. That's the weird thing. Like when I was a kid, it's like I was born in Hawaii, and then I don't remember much because I left at 5, and then I was in Vegas, and I just hated that place.
Oh yeah.
Until I was like 17, I was like, I need to leave. Let me go back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then Hawaii has this thing where it digs its like claws into your back, and it's just like you can't leave.
Socially, economically.
Yeah, it's just like
Just
grrr.
everything.
It's like an STD.
It is, and it's like you can never leave. And then you meet somebody, you fall in love, you have a couple of babies, and then it's like you can't leave, you know. And then when you finally want to leave, like you leave, but then you're like,
Nowhere else seems as nice. You don't have any savings.
Exactly. Even the scene, like comedy scenes, are not as supportive for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you'll always have the cool talk with comics outside, but I think our scene is much more like family.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought that
No.
truck was about to straight up just plow right into that car.
That would have been great.
That would be a
awesome.
great event.
That would have been.
There's still an opportunity. He's trying to parallel park.
That would have
next
been
to it.
better than the Chicago fire trucks
Caught
just
here
hitting into
on
each
the
other.
That would have been a good
podcast.
callback. Just run up and start pointing microphones in his face.
That would be the epitome.
Right.
That would have been the epitome of the Chicago fire truck.
Yeah. So what's your what do you think, Billy first? What do you think your process is? Oh no, sorry, never mind. What's your favorite set in front of your favorite crowd that you've had so far?
Oh man, are we counting Hawaii too, or
Just everywhere.
everywhere?
Anywhere. Like a set that stands out in your mind.
Man, you know what? When I was in San Diego and I did the Comedy Palace,
Yeah.
I was the last guy there.
Yeah.
Right, I was the last one on, and I just did like my solid 10, like the solid best 10. I
The
could
one that
think.
you were sharpening at the end of being in Hawaii.
Yeah, like when I left for the tournament and I made it to the finals of the Vegas or Bus tournament.
Yeah.
I pretty much did that 10 for the San Diego show,
Yeah.
and they loved me, man. They really loved me.
Nice.
I didn't win, unfortunately, because I'm not black or a woman, but like all,
Are you sure about that?
yeah, like. For every tournament, I find those are the ones that win, and guys like me are kind of like, oh, you were funny, but yeah, we got to give you the political vote.
I hear that
Yeah.
a lot about it. It's
Chew a
true.
bone every once in a while.
I think if I had more of a disability, I would get in. So I'm
Jews are
gonna-
done in this business.
Like yeah, we are. Like if you're Jewish or depressed, it's like so what? So everyone else is.
The
Like,
door's closed. You have to be famous already.
Yeah, right. So now it's really like you're gonna get in if you're like
Yeah.
you're black or you're a woman or like
You
have
got to
a
be
disability.
trans Jewish, like Mark Norman.
Like I'm.
Like he seems like he's really Jewy, but he's not.
I identify as a Jew. Like, yeah, but no, yeah, San Diego
no,
thus
that's
far.
pseudo-Jewish.
Pseudo Jewish.
Yeah.
There we go.
That
Just throwing trans around?
Trans-Jewish is like you were raised to be like a Catholic / Buddhist monk.
And then you get
And
you
then
get the
you were
chop.
like, wait a minute, this is not for me. I gotta transition into Judaism, maybe.
Let me find the nearest moil.
That sounds like accidental Jewish. Like,
Yeah.
like an
Accidental.
accidental.
Oh, I just kind of walked into this temple and was like, L'chaim.
Sounds
Ah.
nice.
I was accidentally
sounds
walked
nice.
into circumcision and
I had my accidental circumcision the same day.
just,
It's a very
yeah.
tiny guillotine.
yeah. Which is in the shape of the Star of David. by
More
the
like
way.
let them eat cupcakes.
Oh God. But
It's a tiny Marie Antoinette.
you know, it's funny though that you go to different towns and the vibe is there. Like you go to
Yeah.
New York, people will fucking heckle you.
Yeah.
If you're doing a hack ass joke, people will let you know you're doing a
Yeah, I
hack-ass
wish
joke.
here people just get silent, but like I wish we were in a place where someone felt comfortable enough to stand up and disagree, so
Right.
that you could either like change for them if you're wanting to do that, or double down on your own idea, and then like a Bill Burrian or Patrici, like go back, like show them that no, I was proceeding to explaining the point in a series of logical steps.
Right.
That now you see my point. I said that first thing to see if I could offend as many people as possible, but I'm going to slowly show you how I got there with the thoughts that every human being has every once in a while.
Right. I would think
It's a weird
sometimes
skill.
my best thing is if you're there and somebody does heckle you in New York, like New York, people just take it.
Yeah.
So I like to throw that energy back at them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in a different kind of like, I like to flank them from the side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's a direct offensive attack to them.
Yeah.
I just kind of use what they say against them in a fun way. So I had a lady who, she was heckling me, and she was pretty fucking wasted in New York City. And I did the whole I wish I could swipe left, Tinder thing, but I did it live on her, and people got it.
Yeah.
So it was, and it's not offensive. You know what I mean? It's like,
and it's not even like a. So it's like playful.
Yeah.
And then it's also just referential to Tinder instead of any of y'all on Tinder.
right, exactly, right.
Yeah.
That ain't group everybody in one thing. So
That premise is fucking beaten to the ground.
yeah.
What was your favorite set you've ever done, Gabe?
My favorite set was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was I had been doing this like open mic at my high school for about a year, and one of the sets that I hosted after doing it for a year was a crowd of about maybe like 40, 50 people.
Cool.
Great crowd. For some reason, I had organized it in a way where no supervision was like that was like a big thing. We were getting censored, and I had got a day where there was no sponsor, there was no adult, there was no teacher or anything, and so I was pretty much able to say whatever I wanted to in a crowd of like 40, 50 people. I opened, I did 30, I was able to do as much as I wanted. I did 30 minutes.
Holy
and
shit.
the
Nice.
whole show was...
That's good for a guy starting out.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the whole show was 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
2.5 maybe. And everyone was only going up for about 5 minutes.
Wow.
So I
Holy
was
shit.
pretty much, I mean, and of course, like, within every... between sets, sometimes I would go off and like do some jokes. That was like a fantastic crowd.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely my favorite. And this is like before I started filming or anything. I should have just recorded all of those sets. That's all I think about now.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from Callahan Welsh. That
Just film
now,
everything.
Now that I'm gonna adopt
You never know what's going to pop off.
You need to record every single set. You need to timestamp every date, and you need to. This is how you do it. You put your name in the beginning, then you put the event of where the place is, then you put the date in that order every single time. And then you upload that on your YouTube. And it's like, I have to do that. That's something I haven't done. And I think if I had done that opposed to the audio recordings that I did all the time, because you need to see your like how you move, your fucking conviction in how you say things, your facial expression. So much stuff you have to analyze.
A lot of it was visual comedy, so that's something you can't capture on an audio track.
Yeah.
And it's something that the audience can see, and that's why they laugh. When you do it on an audio track, it's just like the audio track. They're like, but I get that he's doing something funny, but what is it? Like, he's or like how Bo Burnham had a really funny tidbit on one of his CD tracks. He was like, he's like, I'm gonna say something really deep now, so can I get some mood lighting? And then all of a sudden, like the audience started, or like there was a silent moment, and then he said thank you, and then the audience started laughing, and I was listening to this on an audio track, and he said. For the people that are listening on the CD, the lights didn't change, which made it funny.
Yeah. That's like a very classic, like Steve Martin-y thing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A lot of his bits are just like, like this is me as blah, and then he'll be quiet for a second. You'll hear a laugh, and it's like, what did he do? Yeah.
I do like that like manipulation of words and energy. That's really nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Reese?
What?
What was your favorite crowd? Did you guys already talk about this before I
I think I kind of mentioned it in one of the other ones, but maybe I'll do a different one. Nico was telling me today about, so like I was hosting one night at Ann O'Brien's, and the night was getting later. I wasn't able to crack them for like the whole night I was hosting. Like sometimes that just happens. Like and then a couple people didn't do as well, or they were doing all right. But then once I got them back, they were
Right.
like I come off incredibly unlikable almost immediately sometimes. I don't know how to get past it yet.
I think it has something to do with them not being warmed up at all.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that I mean, then that was my job. That's a skill that I was supposed to have.
Yeah,
But-
right.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
skill
that
I was
was
supposed to
kind of
build.
one job. Yeah.
And then Jose was supposed to go next on the show, and he's getting ready to come up on stage, and then right behind him, like 15 people are coming in to see the show, and he stretch. I go, all right. Jose's telling me to stretch. I literally said that out loud.
Nice.
And then Andrew had a bit for a while that was about Safeway being cold, pretty
Right.
much.
Remember
Yeah.
Penguin
So
and
Penguin
Safeway.
getting spicy ahi pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I say, funny thing about that is that why would a penguin be getting spicy food if birds can't taste spice? And everyone's like, what? And I was like, yeah, birds can't taste spice. And then,
You just
like
gave
people are
like a
starting to
National Geographic fact.
yeah, and then I was like, birds don't have the
Actually,
receptors
beads
for
cannot
capaskin,
taste spice.
the chemical that creates spice on your tongue. And people start kind of like wiggling around in their seats, like, what the fuck is going on with
Right.
this guy? Like, birds can't taste spice. Birds can't taste spice. Birds eat peppers, go somewhere else, and shit out a pepper tree. Birds can't taste spice. And then the crowd starts clapping along. Like, birds can't taste spice.
That's awesome.
And they start like clapping and laughing. And Jose's like, all right, I'm ready. And then I bring Jose on stage. It's the first time the crowd's been warm that whole night. And that was just a really fun, like, and Nico actually requested I do that bit tonight. But how am I going to do that bit with, like, if that's how I explain, that's the context, is
Yeah.
like just being able to, I don't know, I did something really
You won't
written
do it with
tonight.
the same
and like,
conviction.
yeah, it's being able to do something written with the conviction of a riff
Right.
is like what you,
And it was so in the moment too.
yeah.
I saw you post something on your Instagram recently where you were talking about the TMT, and then basically you were like, you know what? I don't want any telescopes at all. No telescopes.
Yeah.
I was dying from that.
That was
'cause-
like the first laugh of that whole set too.
Oh, really?
It's so pathetic what I'm doing is just like, I don't know, it's a place to catch people if they're interested in me as a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what that's what I think you got to have. Cuz remember we were trying to open for Tom?
Yeah. We're
And
still
then,
doing it.
I
We're
mean,
still trying.
I might be in Seattle during the show.
Oh fuck!
which is
I
gonna be
might
hilarious.
in the mainland. So
Yeah.
I tried.
I might be
talking to
visiting.
Tom.
Yeah.
I met him at Los Angeles, and it was the most cringiest experience meeting him because I went up to him and I'm like, should I praise him as a god again, or should I see if I'll get on his show?
Yeah.
And like I completely tried to be like, where's my
See if you'll get on his like podcast show?
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see if I could open for him back here in Honolulu.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I had to channel my inner Victoria Arnstein.
Ugh.
Like
I'm sorry. Not that about Victoria.
I had to be,
I mean, I was just clearing my throat.
I had to be like, you know what? I'm entitled to talk to a fucking celebrity, all right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I
He was so down to earth. He just
Yeah.
accepted me talking to him.
yeah, right. He's a really cool guy. I talked to him.
She reminds me of Jeffrey Gurian. Just imagine a female Jeffrey Gurian.
So I had to go
A very successful person in his own right.
I had to go up
Okay.
to him and I was like, look, I'm gonna talk to you. And then I was just it was really cringy, man. I was like, it was almost like, it's like talking to your dad after not seeing him for 12 years. Like, it's just like, hey, you know, I know you'll be in town. I was wondering if I could see you again.
Do you remember me?
Yeah, I said, do you remember me? He's like, oh, I remember Honolulu. That's what he told me. He
That's
remembered.
so his voice, too.
Yeah. And I was like,
I remember Honolulu.
it hurts so much, but I
I
had.
remember getting on a plane for
Yeah.
like 7 or 8 hours.
He doesn't even remember comedy. He just remembers just.
I came out of the green room. I did my thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Beaches were nice.
I really need for people to stop harping on me about
Yeah.
opening for that guy because I didn't actually open for him. That was my father.
What's it called?
it was different Billy Sherman.
That's my father, William Sherman.
Yeah, William Sherman opened for him, not Billy Sherman.
The senior.
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 Actually, my dad did open for Brad Williams.
Nice.
Yeah, and this was like
Your dad's about his height.
Yeah, he is. He's like Andrew Joyce size, and he it was like 2011, 2012.
That's pretty cool.
And he opened for Brad Williams. He introduced me on stage with an Emmy because I was presenting the Emmy to my father.
Interesting.
And then my dad's like, "This is Billy Sherman Jr., the future of Hawaii comedy."
Oh shit!
And then yeah, so stupid.
Kingmaker.
I feel like if you say like this is the future of white comedy,
You're cursing.
yeah, it's just a very low bar to achieve.
Yeah.
You just need to stay here for 9
One day
years.
this guy's gonna run his own open mic.
That's it.
And you didn't even do that.
Yeah, I had the opportunity
You
to.
couldn't
though.
even pull that together.
Yeah, I had the opportunity. Yeah.
We were living like kings, getting paid $20, $30 a gig.
Yeah. It's like Genghis Khan and then his grandson is a pussy.
Right.
It ruins empires.
Right.
Your dad's
My new
empire
grandson's
dirt.
going to be the king of Persia.
Soft hands. Soft hands, Billy Sherman.
Yeah. That's my name in another.
Soft hands
that's,
Sherman.
that's another Billy Sherman.
Another life.
Yeah, that's another life. That was my former self. I needed the money for college, and I still didn't graduate.
It's like when you teach the dog that the frisbee is the reward. I stopped going to college. I
Right.
just love the feeling of another man in my hands.
Fuck college. Like I don't know why are we even doing it.
It's a racket.
It
It's a
is.
pyramid
You think
scheme.
we should have a college for comedy?
Absolutely.
You think we should do it?
Not
No.
right?
Like a real comedy you?
Comedy
Comedy,
classes, you
yeah.
could get what you learn from them, and then you could also get the stage time. It's like a nice free stage time in a
Right.
place where there aren't you can't find an open mic. It's a good way to get into.
But
the
if it's
open
like
mic
a
scene.
trade where like you get out, and then you can do road work.
I mean,
and
I
then
feel like that's what this is mainly for me.
but you're
I do-
paying to do this. That's the thing.
Put the microphone pointed
Oh.
towards your face. It's all good.
I
Up
do.
in
I
there.
think this is one thing that like it does feel like college sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I do study for it. I do prep before it, and I do spend I schedule around it.
Yeah.
Like I work and I schedule around. I work nights, and so when I'm not doing this, I'm working,
Mm-hmm.
and I do feel sometimes that like this is like some kind of comedy like 101 class.
Yeah.
I get so much practice in and stuff, and it's so fun.
It's like
I
the
mean, like
School of Hard
it's
Knocks.
a class I enjoy. Like it's not shit that I have to like put up with.
Mhm.
But yeah, I especially coming here, there was not as many opportunities to do like open mic, and the scene was a little harder to get into in other
Yeah.
states. And so this is more of like a community college, if you will, of comedy.
I mean, when I started,
Rude.
dude, like when I started though, like we had laugh track theater, and this is back when I was 17 years old, and like we only had 3 minutes once a month every third Thursday,
Yeah.
and now we have 6 open mics, like 4 feature
Something
shows.
like that, yeah. And the mixed
Like-
open mics we're starting to get into as well.
You got the mixed mics. Now you're annoying all the hippies that are trying to play poetry and music and ska. And
Yeah.
now you're doing your dick jokes over there to
Yeah.
piss the hippies off. So like, it's just an interesting scene how it's evolved, and it's still evolving. You know, it's like
Yeah.
evolving more and more and more.
Constantly.
They called what? Oh shit! I'll
All right,
come
go.
back.
No, go,
All
go,
right.
go.
All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, later, Billy. Good luck.
All right. Is this still on?
Reese,
Do
we
you
were
mind checking?
talking earlier about
cool.
doing DMT. I feel like we all had a different experience with that.
Yeah, I just watched you guys do it. I didn't do it at all.
That's bullshit.
We're doing a character right now. All right, so imagine there's a character.
I thought your
of
wife
what
was
it would
like
be
listening
like.
into this or something. But your wife was there, and we all did DMT. That's right. I forgot. I thought you were like, no, I didn't do DMT. What are you talking about?
No, yeah. That was I played a character around you guys as you guys did DMT.
Wow, you're
That was
really,
fun.
really good at that character. You zoned out
I did
for
a
like
bit.
you zoned out for at least 20 minutes, and you
It's kind
stared
of
at
boring because
you
everyone
stared
else
at your
is
knees for a
I
good.
curled up.
Well, you didn't curl up. You were just kind of like down looking. I assume your knees were like the Grand Canyon to
That's
you.
interesting because I was given an opportunity to go up and out,
Uh-huh.
or to stay down and plot, and like
Wow.
decide how to structure what the next couple of years would be.
in your trip.
No, in my
Oh.
like I just meditated near you guys.
Oh.
I didn't trip at all.
I thought you took a hit.
No, I didn't.
You watched me take it. I was eager.
I don't smoke any tobacco, any marijuana, anything illicit at all. Gabriel.
He's
But,
going.
how
He's
was
going
yours?
for one of his job interviews after this. I guess I don't know. It was great. You could see the like you could see that I was eager to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we first got there, and everyone was deciding, oh, who's gonna try it first?
Yeah.
And I was like, is nobody else wants to try it first? I would love to try it. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and having an opportunity like this, like I can't say no.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody is gonna give me the equivalent to greens.
Yeah.
On a
of a
DMT
situation
bowl.
like this.
Yeah, and so I was just like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
First hit's got to be the best. And I tried
First
taking
cut is the deepest.
yeah. Breaks down into the first cut is the deepest.
All right, folks, that's our show.
Right?
No, but yeah. Well,
Yeah.
how was yours?
It was fantastic. I remember taking the first hit and looking up, and all the clouds kind of broke apart, and I kept my eyes open for a bit, which you're not really supposed to do. But when you do keep your eyes open during a DMT trip, everything just starts to. It's like the biggest peak of like a mushroom trip or an acid trip where the visuals get insanely crazy.
That's cool. I wouldn't know, but yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
And then I took a second hit, and I could kind of hear this weird. No, it wasn't like a voice. It was in a dream where you kind of know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like something
Like
you're
a very
supposed to be
like a pointed where it feels like a lucid dream, but it's like there's
Yeah.
not like a really
Yeah.
a choice.
And so I felt like I needed to close my eyes, and once I did, it was like like I could still feel the ocean, but it felt like I got sucked in way out, and this huge like massive wave was.
And you were like
washing
5
over
feet
us.
from the ocean. Like,
yeah,
like
we
not
were
even-
right on the ocean.
Yeah.
And so I had this weird trip that we were all together as like one kind of like, I don't know. It was a very geometrical
Like
shape.
a single crystal we're
Yeah.
all different sides of.
Yes.
Like
and we were all kind of
Infinitely sided crystal.
yeah, we're all kind of structured together.
Yeah.
It was and
Just a thin membrane keeping us from the other.
yeah. It was our self-esteem that it was about as thin as that.
Yeah.
Our like and just it was a very strange experience, and I couldn't describe it with words. Like I'm trying my best to describe it, but it
That's
was
kind of the consensus. Is
yeah,
that it's pretty much.
it was
very
kind of an
incredibly
indescribable
difficult
because
to-
eventually everything just turned into these really weird geometrical shapes,
Yeah.
and I can't paint.
It's
a
like
w-
watching someone juggle 8 balls with 3 hands. Like it's really hard to describe which part is doing what.
Yes, yeah. I don't even know what kind of shapes they were. Like I can only name so many.
Non-Euclidean,
No, it was a yes. Is it-
Lovecraftian.
It was
Like
a
Lovecraftian, but nice.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a Lovecraft like just portrait of
Yeah.
weird shapes.
That was a really nice night.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And I don't know if this is a character, but I could have sworn you smoked maybe that was the DMT talking.
Nah, I'm a weird guy. I just like to do characters near other people as they smoke certain
Really?
substances or not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't just start smoking weed. What I did before I started smoking weed was I hung around my brother for like a few years while him and his friends smoked weed.
Uh-huh.
And I would kind of just sit there and observe and talk around them, and I did take advantage
Oh,
of
like a
some.
contact high almost.
No, I mean it was supposed to be. Like I was in a shed with them, so like I should have probably felt something. It was a very small area, but
Yeah.
like no, it was mainly just me kind of fucking with my other with my brother's friends while they were like smoking pot.
Yeah,
and
that
getting high.
fun. Like I had a guy like that who
Yeah.
would just hang out near other people as they were
Yes.
doing certain
Yes.
things and just having fun.
Hey,
Jose.
welcome,
How
Jose.
you doing, Reese? How
Just
you
tapping
doing,
it,
Gabe?
friend of the show.
Doing
Good
good.
to see you guys.
Is it you?
I only came here to interrupt to find out if you're gonna be here for a while. Would you? They're almost done. Would you be able to clean
They're
up?
almost done.
Yeah. Would you help Ian clean up, or do I gotta come back? It's awkward to be asking a question
On a podcast.
Hey, can I ask you a favor on your podcast?
See what he does to us.
Yeah.
Puts us in front of an audience and then makes us. Yeah, I'll just clean up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
gotcha.
thank you.
Yes, Yeah.
Oh, this is a good man right here.
I'll help.
Okay. Gabe will
can
help
ri-
too.
yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. Well,
Are you
I'll get
leaving?
guys on the show.
Then,
Yeah,
or
I'm
are
gonna
you
go.
just
My girlfriend's over there waiting for me.
Okay,
And I'm gonna go. We're gonna go eat.
Cool.
Which, by the way, if you do come to Comedy U, and you're looking for a place to eat afterwards, because
Yeah.
there's always like I sell beef sticks and that's it. There's this place called Sushi King, which is like 2 blocks away. They have like
Uh-huh.
a late night special. It's like discounted, and it's like starting at
Nice.
10:30. Another one I like to
So
go to.
plan
is
your night
Yanagi-
around
yeah,
that.
Yanagi
Yeah.
Sushi, which
Oh,
is over by the
Yanagi's
Blaze.
great,
Yeah,
yeah.
that place is
I love
awesome.
Yanagi.
So
I don't do raw
Um,
fish.
at least I'm adding some sort of content to the interruption. So
This is his plug.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's
They're not
sponsored
even
by-
paying for it because I'm going to go give them my money and go eat now. But thank you.
Sponsor of the show,
Yeah,
Awesome.
sure.
Sushi King. See Jose.
Well,
Right. So you would hang out near people who were
pretty much, yeah.
high and just
It
like
kind of reminded. That's the only,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that reminded me of what you were
Yeah.
pretty much just describing, because we were all tripping really
Yeah.
hard. But I could have
there's
sworn.
like fuck withers, and then there's like support characters to
yes,
like almost
you're a
babysitting.
vital
like,
member.
yeah.
Yeah. Of the group.
Like
I
it's
think.
very weird when you do a certain thing and then one person leaves.
yeah.
Like, have you ever done deoxymethyltryptamine?
DXM.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
I have to. Well,
Robitussin. Robotripping.
robo tripping.
I did that too. Dude, they have
It didn't. yeah,
they have expectorant in almost everything now.
really.
Kids nowadays cannot do that anymore. That's no longer an option.
Yeah. No, it was an option when I was
Yeah.
in high school. Yeah.
Yeah. Very recently. I still look. I did it a long time ago, but I still look every once in a while. Delson has everything. Even the
yeah.
generic brands.
I chose the weirdest times to do that. It was before school.
What?
Yeah, I would like
That's
be
terrifying.
I would be that kid that was, and it like I think I only robo tripped once.
Yeah.
And my brother's done it countless times. I have countless stories.
Yeah.
Of my brother, a few that he doesn't really believe
That's
happened.
Yeah.
Because I think he blacked out a few times, but yeah, I remember doing that one time before school, and then and also going home early that day.
Yeah.
And also another time, my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to try Ambien?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. First
Uh-huh.
period's about to start. We're gonna be late.
Yeah.
Let's do this
Try to
Ambien
stay
already."
up.
Yeah, pretty much. We were like,
That's
fight,
crazy.
we were like, yeah, fight the urge to sleep. And
Yeah.
again, left early that day. I think I had like 4th or 3rd period lunch.
Jeez
and-
Louise.
And some days I would just disappear around 4th
Yeah.
period because I was like, oh shit, I am too fucked up to
Yeah.
be here. Which is great. I think, like I was pretty much a goody two shoes. I never even got sent to the principal when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I was
That's crazy.
pretty in the eyes of the
I mean, I literally didn't do anything until the summer after high school is the first time I drank.
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, no.
Taylor Perga just got me like wasted off of these weird bourbon shots.
Huh.
I don't know. And then I didn't drink again until like the middle of my first college semester.
That takes some like
I don't know. It
Like-
just wasn't like an option. I don't know.
really?
Yeah.
Oh man. For me, I guess like it was the only option. It was like,
Yeah.
do you want to drink? Do you want to smoke weed?
Yeah.
There wasn't
yeah.
a lot of like do-gooding options.
Yeah.
I guess. And I took most of the like for years. I would just sat around while
Yeah.
these like I was offered it and I said no politely.
Yeah.
But eventually, I just started saying yes to like everything.
Yeah.
And so far, there are a bunch of drugs that I have not done ever,
Yeah.
and I plan never to do.
Yeah.
But eventually, I need to go back in there and like pay my tab. Like I'm afraid Tristan's gonna be like, "Did Gabe
no,
just
we're
leave?"
not gonna. Like,
I know.
finish
Well, I
out.
know we're gonna go back up there, obviously to clean.
Yeah.
'Cause
We gotta find out when it's closing down.
yeah, it seems like it might be soon. 'Cause I don't know if the list was too long for open mic, and I feel like Billy was probably.
Billy was 13. And I think it was like 19 people. Yeah, we should just close this up.
Yeah,
It's a very nice, very fun time.
it was. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on your podcast. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like, I kind of just walked up with an ukulele, but
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I want everyone to get a chance to be on it. It's like a fun way to practice panel,
Yeah.
practice a performative conversation.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's something that hopefully we have to do. Podcasting is a thing that people get their entertainment through. And if someone likes you, you could be like, this is my podcast. This is my episode of the podcast that I do with, like, that another guy does. Like, if you want to see more of me, follow me on Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this will come out Sunday, I believe.
Oh, cool.
You and
cool.
Billy.
Yeah.
Dude, I might be able to just put this whole thing out as is.
Just to
Yeah, it's 40 minutes.
damn.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good like. If it was all solid.
Unless Joel wants to join us.
Joel.
Okay. Joel's on the open mic next. So the open
we'll
mic's
bring
not done yet.
we'll bring the podcast.
That's what that means.
We'll bring the podcast to the open mic,
Yeah.
and then just be, oh, would you like to people on
Excuse me,
stage?
would you like to be a
yeah,
third?
would you like to be on the podcast? I'm doing something. Yeah. Just like hold this instead.
Is this my time?
This is my time. Does this get counted on my time?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think these podcasts are great. Like this is I guess this would be my first official podcast. I've had like mini podcasts with friends and stuff, but I don't think any of them were really like
Yeah.
published. Mostly because of my friends were just like,
Well, I have a ton that
they would
aren't
hoard-
published.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's
well,
just
I mean, like not put on the internet. I
yeah.
mean.
Well, every once in a while I would just try and then be like, I'm not interesting enough. And then you just got to overcome that
Yeah.
and then learn to be interesting.
Yeah. You've seen most of my sets, and barely any of them I post on the internet.
Yeah. Well,
But-
do you have them? Do you watch them ever?
Do I watch like?
do you
the
learn
recordings?
from your own? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. Oh, like you were saying earlier, you treat it like a.
Yeah.
Course.
It's like a course, like practice, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
I mean, like, I typically don't have a bad set. It's just when I want to put it online, I'm like, oh shit, what is everybody gonna say? Like,
Yeah.
you know, my
it's terrifying,
aunts-
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just like built up this weird wall against it. Every once in a while, it'll be like, "Why are you doing this?" Just like,
Yeah.
you just can't let it crush you. Because I mean, like, it's so fleeting. Like, the people who follow me now, like, what I have like 400 followers, which
Really?
is not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good for just a small organic thing. But like, really, they're not gonna realize I've grown, and then suddenly people are gonna slowly find me that are more like, you know what I mean? Like right now, it's just like friends from high school, just like the comedians who follow and then unfollow immediately. Like in every industry, like in every supposed industry, there's people like that picking
Uh-huh.
up people from the scraping the bottom of the basket, social media wise. Like if you use the hashtag like hip hop or hashtag independent artist or something, people are just gonna start adding you and then unadding you because people follow you like follow back. You
Uh-huh.
know, they think you're gullible enough to just like. And then like some of them are interesting. You know, there's this weird guy from Australia, not Jared Jekyll. That guy's fucking hilarious, dude. Adrian Young maybe, but like he followed me just out of the blue because of a hashtag comedy, and then I followed him back. He's like, that's for the follow back, and I think he unfollowed me pretty much immediately. But that's a good technique.
He's got a
'Cause-
computer program. He's
yeah,
just like,
the
all right, now we're gonna send him a very nice message,
Yeah.
and then immediately, like, he's probably doing this to like hundreds
Yeah.
of people. He's
really
just
all you need is one seemingly human interaction with them,
Yeah.
and then you feel like, oh, this guy actually pays attention to me. But if you guys go follow Jared Jekyll, he's like becoming a actor and a commercial actor in Australia, and holy shit, that guy came through to an open mic once, and he just incorporated magic, incorporated song
Wow.
and dance into and made
This
it
is
funny.
your plug, Jared.
Yeah. I very active in his stories,
Nice.
I suppose. But yeah.
That was one thing at the open mic that I told you about earlier that nobody tried to do was like magic and, you know, like cool
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, everyone wants to do like cover songs and stuff, and I was the only person doing comedy. And I was also a big I don't want to pat myself on the back, but like for a while I was a big reason why people went to the show in the first place.
That's cool.
and
That's very good to have. It's
It was a
so
great-
you have a sense of confidence when you
Yeah,
moved.
it added confidence on me. Like I said, when I first came here, and when I was in Maryland, I also had the same amount of confidence. But when I came here, I had an overwhelming like this was like a restart or a start over to the start over. Like it was
Yeah.
like, okay, things didn't really
You had a
work.
chance to.
Yeah, like like I didn't get the ball whirling as big as as fast as I wanted to in Maryland, but here it's completely different, completely different state.
You got a chance.
And everybody, like Billy was saying, everybody's very supportive here.
Yeah.
It's a smaller crowd too,
Yeah.
so you're kind of able to work up, the ladder a little bit
Seems
faster.
like there's very rarely a repeat customer.
Oh,
Which is
at
interesting.
here, and that's because they're tourists. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, they're
yeah.
they're coming and going, and you probably wouldn't recognize any
Yeah.
regular or recurring people because they were here like last year or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like they're like, oh, let's go
We
back
gotta
to that
really
comic
like
book
market to specifically to
Yeah.
Australian tourists who come
Yeah, exactly.
once
yeah.
a year.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I think that's great too because it's a new crowd. A lot of people here do their tight five, and when like if I see a comedian's tight five, I'm gonna probably think it's hilarious the first time. It's respectably hilarious the second time, and the third or fourth or fifth time, I have to like force myself to like kind of laugh
Yeah.
because it's funny, and I know it's funny.
Yeah.
But like,
I think
it's
that's
not-
what's next for us is moving through material quicker and quicker and quicker.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'll try to like always have something new
Yeah.
in my act, and I think I noticed that comedians.
I think
all
the
of us.
3-minute structure, the 3-minute
Yeah.
is good for learning how to build immediate structure.
Yeah.
I feel like I like the 7s better because it lets you settle into an idea. but
Yeah. Yeah.
It's whatever. It's
for sure. And
the 3 is incredibly important to
It-
have, especially in front of a good crowd.
Yeah. And with every 7-minute set, like I see like even if it is the same joke, if I have heard it before, there are ways that comics improve the way they say it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like tonight was a really good example of that. I feel like everybody had a pretty strong set, even though I have heard some of the jokes that were told tonight. There
Yeah.
were some comedians I had never seen tonight.
Yeah. Some people are visiting.
Yeah, and their sets to me was just like like I thought it was hilarious the entire way through. I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And it was good to see Lance Letterman come back.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while, and I can't even remember. I think there was one joke I had heard before, but yeah, his set was
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, he was just funny talking about his week, and that's what he used to do was talk about his week and then
yeah.
lock on to certain things and then repeat those throughout the week. I feel like he might benefit from being away for a bit because he has the hunger to be funny. Because it's kind of scary sometimes to realize that you're coming out habitually, just doing the same material over and over and not really improving upon it, or like, I feel like less people are doing that lately, which is
Yeah.
good that we're
Yeah.
developing. And there's a lot of people who riff, and so people kind of feel the urge to see if they can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Gabe at Hospital Jams.
At-
It'll be in the description. But yeah.
at _Hospital_Jam.
Cool.
Gabe Aguilar on Facebook.
Perfect.
And Gustavo Danger on Twitter.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I never get on
Gustavo
Twitter, but I'm just
Danger.
gonna throw that in there. Just, yeah.
Get ready for that Paulcast bump.
See, I
Jesus
wanted
Christ.
that as my Instagram handle,
Yeah?
but I had already taken it and logged myself out of the account and lost it.
No.
Yes. So now it's even worse because
Sweet
it's an
Jesus.
original idea that I can't
Yeah.
get back. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, fuck, I can't use that.
You never
username.
see it again.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks, Gabe.
Appreciate it.
Ugh. That was a good shit. I don't know why I'm still drinking this protein powder. It's gonna make me sick. Interesting. But, yeah. That was fun. Billy and Gabe, I'm trying not to talk over anybody anymore. Right? That's good, right? That's something. Right? I don't know. I hope I improve at this. I think I am. I was actually really proud that it was one solid chunk and I had 2 people and we all talked nicely. Yeah. It's cool. I'm excited this week. I got a roast battle and the bird bath show. Bird bath show is so fun. Glad I'm doing it. I'm worried that I transitioned from boy to man and I didn't pay attention to when it happened. What was that? Shut up, Reese. God damn. Anyways, guys and gals, Totinix. Peace. Peace in the Middle East. This is Reese Paulcast.